Hey everybody, it's the Earth 1999 coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about taking something that has Dungeons and a Dragon to augment Dungeons and Dragons. For this video, we will be going into Minecraft, as you can probably tell from the title. And from what I can tell, there's two main subjects for this. The first is lifting mechanics from Minecraft to put them into D&D, and the second would be using Minecraft as a tool to play D&D. There already is the Minecraft D&D mod, so let's try doing it the other way around. For adding Minecraft mechanics, let's first break down the name, Mine and Craft. And we're going to start with the latter. Crafting is a thing that exists in D&D, but it isn't very often used. If you want, you can already smith your own sword, brew your own potion, or even build your own magic item. These things just don't come up very much, so you, as the DM, could promote them. I would say encourage the players to choose proficiency in some crafting-based toolset, such as carpentry or smithing. On top of that, make it worthwhile to engage in these activities. As the game is built currently, in most cases, a player is better off just buying a sword or finding a magic one instead of trying to build their own. You can make it so that in this world, professional smiths are rare and might charge high prices. In Minecraft, there aren't towns or cities, only villages. That may be something that you'd want to replicate. There would still be NPCs for the players to work with, but there'd be less of them, and they would be less skilled. The weapons could have a durability score like they do in Minecraft. You could predetermine a score for each type of item, and then each time it's used in combat, you mark damage. And if the player marks enough damage, then the weapon breaks. And in addition to the normal Minecraft materials like iron or stone, perhaps they could make their weapons out of silver, which are, good for fighting against certain monsters. Perhaps they could bring iron and coal together to make steel for more durable weapons. And they could also make jewelry for decoration or to sell. As for pre-made magic items, they could be low to none in this adventure. This would force the players to enchant items themselves. Maybe one person is a dwarven fighter who forges weaponry and armor, and her human wizard friend could have proficiency in a special enchantment tool set that would let her give the item magic properties. For those magic properties, the wizard would have to find the enchantments in a dungeon to apply them, like with the enchanted books. On top of the regular enchantments, you may want to add special ones to replicate D&D magic items, like a crown that, while worn, lets the user fly. Maybe a player could also combine a weapon with a spell to activate the spell by using the weapon. A fun example would be combining Fireball with an arrow to launch a missile. Perhaps the cleric in the party could know how to brew potions. The mechanics for making potions in 5e is pretty limited, so let's see what we can do with it. You could take the list of potion recipes directly from Minecraft and apply them to your game. Your characters could seek out the ingredients and then put them together to brew potions. Although you may want to make some adjustments. In Minecraft, potion brewing is directly tied to the Nether. If you want your party being able to brew potions earlier on, you may want to have Nether wart available in the main world, or have some other material used for making the base potion. Another thing is that you may want to have other ingredients harder to find. Like, for instance, potions of speed may require more than just sugar. The brewing time could also vary based on the potion complexity. You may also decide that the player needs to make one or more skill checks to successfully make the potion. Now, if I may, I'd like to briefly segue from Minecraft and talk about how I think potion work can function in general for D&D using what's called a skill challenge. The YouTuber Matthew Colville made a video talking about these that I will link to, but I'll give a rundown on it right here. Skill challenges are a series of skill checks used to get through some conflict. The point is to provide a party with a way to work through a situation that would require multiple non-combat actions to get through. It's usually a best of 5 checks style lineup wherein 3 failures and the party fails, or 3 successes and the party succeeds. Depending on the difficulty, you might adjust the number of successes or failures. The DM begins the skill challenge by letting the players know they're in one and offering them some skill options that they could use. For example, in potion craft, the brewer may use a nature check to understand the ingredients, an arcana check to know something about a particular potion, and sleight of hand to add the ingredients carefully. On top of those, a player might make a case for other skills being relevant. If they make a good case, let them use the skill. Normally, skill challenges are a party affair, but in this case you may restrict it to one player. With that said, you could also rule that if one player is proficient in potion craft, he could have the rest of the party assist him. Then there's the concept of building structures. The closest thing to this in 5e is that the Carpentry tool kit lets you make survival shelters to protect your group. You could take this a step further if you want. If the players have the time, they can make more elaborate buildings. In between adventures, they may gather materials to build a hut, then a cottage, then a house, or maybe even a manor. Remember, the higher level you get, the better magic you'll have access to, and the more gold you'll have to hire NPCs. Maybe after the party clears out a dungeon, they use their skills to make it their own. Once again, this is actually something I think would work well in regular D&D games. Something I would love to try is have a party use their resources to revamp a dungeon that they conquered. They could then set up traps and lure in monsters to protect their treasures. I would then have a second lower level party go through and try to explore the dungeon. Back to Minecraft though. We still need to talk about the mining aspect. Now, the players can't lug out thousands of square meters of stone each time they go underground, but they may have bags of holding to bring out some materials. They could descend into some mine with hopes of getting various ores. While down there, they run into some miners who tell them that their friends have been taken captive. They would have to fight their way through giant spiders, slimes, and undead. They have to dodge traps that are guarding treasures and cross deadly pits. Eventually, they get to the right chamber and have to fight some necromancer who is controlling the undead. After they win, they are rewarded and can go back to the surface to build some more. Now, while we're on the subject, let's talk about the mobs. The spiders, skeletons, zombies, slimes, and non-hostile mobs all have direct D&D parallels. Creepers could have similar stats to zombies, but their only attack is an explosion. This attack could do, say, 5d10 force damage with a DC 12 dex save for no damage. Also, the creeper may have less health than a zombie, and it wouldn't get undead fortitude. Endermen would be an aberration. They would have around 45 or 5d8 plus 5 health. They could cast Misty Step at will. Every round they're in water, they would take 2d8 acid damage. They would be susceptible to holy water attacks. Their unarmed strikes would maybe do 1d10 necrotic damage, and they could of course pick up building materials to annoy the players. The Magma Cubes would be like the gelatinous cubes creatures, but they would do fire damage instead of acid damage. Blazes could be like magma mephits. Gas would be flame elementals. Sort of take the Magma Cube design from before, but they fly around. They could cast a special version of the Fireball spell, and if one person gets between a 15 and a 19 on the dex save, then the Fireball is deflected, protecting everyone. On a 20 plus, that Fireball goes back to the Ghast. The Ender Dragon will be a black dragon with weakness to force and cold damage. In Minecraft, in addition to the overworld, there is also, of course, the Nether and the End. These would function like other planes. You may have the Nether be the fire plane. In the Nether world, you could have fortresses be dungeons to explore, and you could have villages in there that are populated by zombie pigmen. That as long as they are not attacked by the players, they might be willing to work with them. The End could be a layer of the Abyss, with the whole of it acting as the Ender Dragon's lair. On a player's turn, she could target a crystal with a range attack. If it hits and the dragon is close enough, it takes 2d12 force damage. Each round that the dragon is near a crystal that doesn't blow up, it heals 2d10 health. As for getting to these worlds, I would stick for how it works in Minecraft. You have to bring certain resources to the surface to make a frame for the Nether portal. For the End portal, they would have to slay Enderman, craft Eyes of Ender, and then get to an End portal that's located somewhere in a dungeon, which would effectively make the Ender Dragon the boss of that dungeon. And well, that's all I really have to say today in regards of adding Minecraft to D&D. In a follow-up video, I will go over using Minecraft as a tool for playing Dungeons and Dragons. When I first had the idea for this, I thought it was a weird concept, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized how well these concepts work together. Minecraft and D&D are both about the system providing you some parameters, you providing your imagination, and together it makes great things to share with your friends. Anyway, that's my take on all this. Tell me what you think down in the comments. If you want to check out some of my other content, I have about a half dozen other homebrew videos like this. I also DM for a 5th edition podcast that I will link to in the description. Let me know if you have any video ideas that I could tackle. I will see you all next time. Have a great day, and God bless.